Fireworks are a class of low-explosive pyrotechnic devices used for aesthetic and entertainment purposes. They are most commonly used in fireworks displays, also called a fireworks show or pyrotechnics, combining a large number of devices in an outdoor setting. Such displays are the focal point of many cultural and religious celebrations. Fireworks take many forms to produce four primary effects: noise, light, smoke, and floating materials, confetti most notably. They may be designed to burn with colored flames and sparks including red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and silver. They are generally classified by where they perform, either ground or aerial. Aerial fireworks may have their own propulsion, skyrocket, or be shot into the air by a mortar, aerial shell. Most fireworks consist of a paper or pasteboard tube or casing filled with the combustible material, often pyrotechnic stars. A number of these tubes or cases may be combined so as to make, when kindled, a great variety of sparkling shapes, often variously colored. A skyrocket is a common form of firework, although the first skyrockets were used in warfare. The aerial shell, however, is the backbone of today's commercial aerial display, and a smaller version for consumer use is known as the festival ball in the United States. Fireworks were originally invented in China. China remains the largest manufacturer and exporter of fireworks in the world. Silent fireworks displays are becoming popular due to concerns that noise effects traumatize pets, wildlife, and some humans. However, these are not a new type of firework and they are not completely silent. Silent firework displays refers to displays which simply exclude large, spectacular, noisy fireworks and make greater use of smaller, quieter devices. The Italian town of Collecchio switched to silent fireworks in 2015. The earliest fireworks came from China during the Song dynasty, 960 to 1279. Fireworks were used to accompany many festivities. The art and science of firework making has developed into an independent profession. In China, pyrotechnicians were respected for their knowledge of complex techniques in mounting firework displays. During the Han Dynasty, 202 BC, 220 AD, people threw bamboo stems into a fire to produce an explosion with a loud sound. In later times, gunpowder packed into small containers was used to mimic the sounds of burning bamboo. 8. Exploding bamboo stems and gunpowder firecrackers were interchangeably known as baoju or baogan. It was during the Song dynasty that people manufactured the first firecrackers comprising tubes made from rolled sheets of paper containing gunpowder and a fuse. 9. They also strung these firecrackers together into large clusters, known as bien, lit. Whip, or bienpao, lit. Whip cannon, so the firecrackers could be set off one by one in close sequence. By the 12th and possibly the 11th century, the term baozhong was used to specifically refer to gunpowder firecrackers. During the Song dynasty, many of the common people could purchase various kinds of fireworks from market vendors. Grand displays of fireworks were also known to be held. In 1110, a large fireworks display in a martial demonstration was held to entertain Emperor Huizong of Song, r. 1100 to 1125, and his court. A record from 1264 states that a rocket-propelled firework went off near the Empress Dowager Gongshang and startled her during a feast held in her honor by her son Emperor Lizong of Song, r. 1224 to 1264. Rocket propulsion was common in warfare, as evidenced by the Huolongjing compiled by Liu Bowen, 1311 to 1375, and Zhao Yu, F.L. circa 1350 to 1412. In 1240, the Arabs acquired knowledge of gunpowder and its uses from China. A Syrian named Hassan al-Rama wrote of rockets, fireworks, and other incendiaries, using terms that suggested he derived his knowledge from Chinese sources, such as his references to fireworks as Chinese flowers. Colored fireworks were developed from earlier, possibly Han Dynasty or soon thereafter, Chinese application of chemical substances to create colored smoke and fire. 15. Such application appears in the Huolongjing, 14th century, and Wu Beizi, preface of 1621, printed 1628, which describes recipes, several of which used low-nitrate gunpowder, to create military signal smokes with various colors. 15. In the Wubei Huolongjing, Ming, completed after 1628, two formulas appears for firework. Like signals, the Sanshangju and Beizanglian, that produces silver sparkles in the smoke. 15. In the Huaxilu, 1753, by Zhao Xuemin, there are several recipes with low-nitrate gunpowder and other chemical substances to tint flames and smoke. These included, for instance, arsenical sulfide for yellow, copper acetate, verdigris, for green, lead carbonate for lilac white, and mercurous chloride, calomel, for white. The Chinese pyrotechnics were described by the French author Antoine Caillet, 1818. It is certain that the variety of colors which the Chinese have the secret of giving to flame is the greatest mystery of their fireworks. Similarly, the English geographer Sir John Barrow, ca. 1797, wrote the diversity of colors indeed with which the Chinese have the secret of clothing fire seems to be the chief merit of their pyrotechny. Fireworks were produced in Europe by the 14th century, becoming popular by the 17th century. 1718, Lev Ismailov, ambassador of Peter the Great, once reported from China, they make such fireworks that no one in Europe has ever seen. In 1758, the Jesuit missionary Pierre-Nicolas Le d'Incarville, living in Beijing, wrote about the methods and composition of Chinese fireworks to the Paris Academy of Sciences, which published the account 5 years later. Amédée François Frisier published his revised work Traité de feu d'artifice pour le spectacle, Treatise on Fireworks, in 1747, originally 1706, covering the recreational and ceremonial uses of fireworks, rather than their military uses. Music for the royal fireworks was composed by George Frideric Handel in 1749 to celebrate the peace treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, which had been declared the previous year. Prior to the 19th century and the advent of modern chemistry, fireworks must have been relatively dull and unexciting. Berthollet in 1786 discovered that oxidations with potassium chlorate resulted in a violet emission. Subsequent developments revealed that oxidations with the chlorates of barium, strontium, copper, and sodium result in intense emission of bright colors. The isolation of metallic magnesium and aluminium marked another breakthrough as these metals burn with an intense silvery light. Wikipedia. In my late tweens to mid-teens, I was a fireworks fanatic. In the late 50s to 60s, fireworks were easy to buy. One of my favorite activities was to go to the Bayonne, Staten Island Bridge. Walk to the middle, over the Quai Van Col, Bay. I would tape 2 firecrackers on opposite sides of a balsa glider, fly it off the bridge and have it blow to pieces over the water. If lucky, the plane pieces. After flying 3 to 5 planes as quickly as I could, I would run off the bridge as fast as I could. No matter how fast I was, I couldn't outrun a police car. I have no idea how many times my father had to bail me out of my local police office. My only regret is that cell phones weren't available, and our movie camera was too heavy to run with. On July 4th and January 1st, same time period, at about midnight, my friends and I would have a contest to see who could make the loudest explosion. I would light an ashcan, very large firecracker in the shape of a trash can, under a random turned-over metal empty trash can. You would not believe the boom, nor the height the trash can would fly.